Hello everyone, as you would know that we are making a series of videos to help those who wants to sponsor their spouse or partner to Canada. We already have some videos on how you can start this whole process online and how you can submit the documents on this online portal. Well, in my last video, I have explained that how you can create this online account to sponsor a spouse. If you are new to this portal, then start a new application from here, or if you have already an existing application, then you just click on this view my PR application button. Here this is my test application which is in progress. I will click on this view button to open this application. And when you scroll down, you will see a list of forms based on your program or PR application. So basically we will start from these 4 digital forms which must be filled by the principal applicant, and then we will complete the sponsors PDF forms as well along with the use of representative form. Okay, so without wasting time, let's look into the first form, which is IIM 008 generic application form for Canada, and this form is mandatory for all the programs you are applying for. We'll just click on this start button. On the first page, there is some background or overview about this form. You have to fill out your language preference between English or French. You have to tell that how many members are there in this application, and you also have to declare some of your personal information like your date of birth, your name, your email ID, address, and so on. Also, you don't have to complete this form in just one sitting. You can save this all the details anytime and come back later as well. And once you complete this form, you can save all the pages as PDF for your reference, because once your application is submitted, you will not be able to see the details which you have entered in these online forms. Since it will also ask your personal document numbers like a passport number, national identity card numbers, and so on. So keep all these documents handy while completing this form. So now let's go to the next page and click on this continue button. On this page, we have to choose our language preferences here. I will make selections according to my choice, or I would say my wife's choice, because she was the principal applicant in this process. First selection is about the correspondence. That means in which language you want to receive all the communications or documents from IRCC. I will select English here. Same for the interview. If in case the interview is required during the process, then it should happen in English. So I will just select English for this one. And do you need any interpreter? I would say no. So the next page is about your personal details. Enter your full name here, same as your passport, and if you have only your first name or only the last name, then fill that in the family name section. So for my application, I will write Gupta as family name and Ayushi as given name, because she's my spouse and she was the principal applicant for this application. Have you ever used the other name in the past? I would say no. Do you have an UCI or unique client identifier number? So if you ever applied to any program in Canada like your visit visa, study permit, or your work permit, you would have the UCI number. Please fill that so that IRCC can check your previous applications and link the details. But this is your first time, then you can leave this space as blank. So my wife never applied to any application before, so for my application I am just leaving this as blank. Next, we have the physical characteristics. So I will select female, and I will select brown for eye color, and height I would say 160 centimeter. Then you have your date of birth. So I will just write like, let's say 1196 slash 01 slash 01, 1st of January 1996, and this is, I'm just making up this number. Place of birth, let's say Mumbai, and the country of birth, India. Then citizenship is India, and if you have citizenship from other countries, then you can just fill that here. Country of residence, your current country of residence, I would say India, and your status is citizen. Your previous country of residence, so I would say no, and if it is yes for you, then select yes and provide the name of the country. Marital status, it will be married, and then the date when you got marriage. So I can just make up some number, let's say 20220101. and provide the name of your current spouse. So that would be me. I will just write my name and who is the sponsor of this application. And have you ever been married before? So we can say no for my application and click on save and continue. Next, we have the contact information. So it says that all the correspondence will go to this address unless you include your email address below. Including an email address will authorize all correspondence, including file and personal information, to be sent to the email address you specify. And if you wish to authorize to release the information in this application to a representative, indicate their name and email address in this section, as well as on the form IIM 5476, which is use of representative form. Your current mailing address. So here the applicant can fill the Canadian address where the sponsor is living. This is to receive any correspondence if you do not provide your email ID. So post box number, let's say NA, apartment NA, because I don't want to leave any space blank, so that's why I'm just writing NA. Street number, let's say 1111, street name ABC Drive, city, let's say Toronto, and then country Canada. Your province would be Ontario, and I'll just write some random postal code. Now the residential address, is it same as mailing address? No. So write the address where the applicant is living. Apartment number, let's say 100, street number 123, street name, just write street name. City, I would write Mumbai, and country, I will select India. Postal code 400001, and district, I will write Mumbai. So this is all random information and just change according to your application. Primary telephone number, so you can provide the principal applicant number here. So I would just select residence, country code India 91, and the number I can just write 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Yeah. And your alternate telephone number, so you can write your sponsor's telephone number here. So I'll just select the type, and country code is 1 for Canada, and I will just enter a random telephone number here. Fax number, I can just leave it blank because I don't have anything for the fax. Do you want us to contact using the same address which you used for creating this account? No, because I will be writing the sponsor's email ID here, and who also will be acting as a representative for this application. Okay, so you can just enter your sponsor's email address here and click on save and continue. And then next we have the passport details to fill here. So do you have a valid passport or the travel document? Yes. And then you have to fill your passport number. So I can just write any random passport number. Issuing country, I will write India. Issue date, so you can again select your issue date which is mentioned in your passport. So just for just for sample, so I'm just writing 2nd of January 2020, and the expiry date would be 2030 January. Yeah, so you can just refer all this information from your passport. So fill the passport number, issuing country, your issue date, and expiry date. If everything is correct, then click on save and continue. So this page is about the national identity document. Do you have a national identity document? Yes. Then write your document number. So I will just enter a random number here. Your issuing country, I would say India. So if you're choosing Aadhaar card as your national identity document, you would have the issue date but not the expiry date. Now since both the dates are mandatory here, so you write the issue date same as you have in your ID, but for the expiry date choose a maximum date to indicate that your document does not expire. So issue date, I will just write a random 2020 1st of January 2020, and for the expiry date I would select the maximum year, maximum month, and maximum date as my expiry date. So you also can mention this information in your letter of explanation, that why you have chosen this expiry date. Once everything is done, click on save and continue. Now on this page you have to provide your education and occupation details. So for the education information, select the highest level of education. So I will select master's degree because my wife completed her master's from India. Number of years of education in total, I will write 18. So the way I have calculated this number is 12 years in school, 4 years of bachelor's degree, and 2 years from the master's. The current occupation, she was the software engineer, so I will write the software engineer here, and her intended occupation would be also the software engineer when she comes to Canada. Click on save and continue. Next you have to provide your language details here. So the first option is your native language or your mother tongue. So I'll select Hindi. Are you able to communicate in English or French? So if you are comfortable with both language, select both. Or for me, my wife, she was able to communicate in English, so that's why we selected English here. Have you taken a test from a designated testing agency to assess your English or French skill? I would say no, but if you have any valid scorecard from IELTS or French exam, you can provide that information here. Click on save and continue. And this last section is for the dependents. So if you have any dependents, then you must provide their details here, but in our case we don't have any dependents, so it was no for us. Then you have this complete and return to your application button. This will not submit your form, and you can come back and change any information until you finally submit the full application. So for now I'll just click on this button, complete and return to application. So you can see that the application was saved successfully, and here you can also see that your form IIM 008 is ready to submit. Well, just to clarify again, all the details I have filled in this form are totally random and is not 100% true. I have provided all the random details like ID numbers and other personal information. The purpose of this video is only to guide you on how you can fill out this form without any confusion. But if you have any questions in this, please write in the comment section below and I will reply to you. So that is it. In this video we have successfully completed one form from this application, and in the next video we will fill the other forms one by one. So stay tuned, like, share this video, and please subscribe to our channel Canada Dreamers. Thank you.